guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Josie Janders with Rushglen Hill Real Estate, and I'm sitting down today with Brian Gething, who is a local mortgage lender and the team leader of the Gething team of People's Mortgage. Brian Gething.
Yeah,
how many times do I say your name?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
You bet.
So, Brian, the loan process, in my opinion, and probably most people's opinion, is one of the most important parts of buying a home. I'm sure you would agree.
Definitely.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the lending process and how you got into lending?
Sure, definitely. So the sexy part about buying a house is looking for properties online, and the fun part and going out to look at homes. And I feel like mortgage lending is nothing exciting about it. It's kind of one of those necessary evils. But that said, it is very important, like you mentioned, to get pre-qualified, to know what your budget is, know the programs, have a good expectation of what your monthly payment is going to be, know how much you're going to need for closing as well.
Right.
And there's so many different programs out there, so it's best to do that up front, be educated on what you can and cannot do. Okay. And then you can taper your real estate search based on your pre-qualification.
Got it. Okay. And you got into lending?
I did. So a long time ago, it seems like it wasn't that long ago, but in 2007 is when I began my mortgage lending career. Had an opportunity out of college. We had a family friend that lived in Phoenix, was in the mortgage business. He had started just a few years prior, but had told me how well things were going for him, and he was in the business in like 2003-ish, 2004, and kind of the bubble, I guess you could call it, when they were giving loans to anyone that had a pulse. Right. Things didn't work out so well. I think everyone knows how that ended. So long story short, I always wanted to move away from where I grew up in Ohio. Had an opportunity to come out here and start in the business, and it was around 2007 when I actually started. And then we all know what happened in 2008, the financial meltdown. And so my first year and a half in the business was very challenging, but I've stuck with it ever since, and it's been a blessing, and it's been a great learning opportunity to kind of go full circle, seeing the bust and then all the way back up to the boom when things are good. And obviously underwriting standards and guidelines are much different now. People buying homes actually qualify for them. We have to prove everything. We have to prove everything now. Where back in my early days, there were some crazy loan products out there, and again, we kind of all know what happened with that experiment. So those are all gone now.
Right. One question that I get asked a lot is, how far out should people start chatting with a loan officer or mortgage lender if they're looking to buy a home?
Sure, and that's a really good question. I think the earlier the better. So if you're planning on buying, let's say by the end of this year, you need to talk to a mortgage lender right away. Okay. The pre-qualification itself is good for about 4 months, 120 days. So if you're planning to buy in the next 3 or 4 months, it's a great time. Or even if it's further out than that, say 6 months or a year, it's always a good idea to get a good understanding on where your credit lies. Right. We're going to look at your credit, we're going to look at your income, and we're going to look at your assets. Those are the main things that a lender is going to look at, especially for a pre-qualification. Okay. So that'll give us ample time to make sure that we look over all that and everything's going to work. And if, let's say, the credit's too low or the income doesn't work or something like that, we can educate our clients and tell them what has to be done and get them on a plan in order to get in a position to buy a property. Okay,
that makes sense. So you can help people figure their credit out if they, some people think like I could not own a home or I can't buy a home because of my credit or whatever. So you offer services to help them.
We do, yeah. We'll take a look at their credit report with them. We don't offer credit repair by any means. So meaning if there's things on credit that the consumer has to dispute or has to try to get removed or get maybe collections deleted off the report. We don't handle those services, but we'll point them in the right direction. We'll tell them what has to come off. We'll tell them what to consider paying off versus not paying off. The number one credit killer is late payments. So if they are late on any accounts, we're going to advise them to get current on all of your accounts first, and then every month that goes by that where you stay current, your credit scores are slowly going to build up over that time period. And then the second thing that we look at and we review with our clients is their revolving credit balances. Okay. So credit card balances. So for instance, if you have a credit card with $1,000 limit on it, you don't want to borrow more than 50%. So in that case, you want to keep it under $500 balance on that $1,000 credit limit card. Oh, okay. So that's good advice. If you're maxing that out, you're going to lose a lot of your points towards your credit score from that. Got it. Ideally, you want to keep it under 50. 30 is even better, but if you can keep under 50, that'll really do a lot of wonders for your credit scores.
Huh, that's good to know. Yeah. Talking about credit scores and things like that, and especially with the housing crash that happened, have you ever had any like weird requests or weird situations that were like memorable in your time?
I've had lots of strange requests. I think one that we get all the time is borrower will come to us and say, I make really good money, but my credit's really bad. And my spouse has really good credit, but doesn't make any money. Can we use my income and her credit? Sorry, it doesn't work that way. It's all or nothing. So for any borrower that's going on the loan, we're going to look at the credit and the income. So it has to be, again, it's all or nothing. So on the flip side of the coin, if there's a husband and wife and they both make excellent money, one has good credit, one has low credit, we can structure the loan with just one of those borrowers on the loan, again, only with their corresponding income to see if they can qualify. So we're not forced to use both if we don't have to use both credit scores.
Gotcha. And when you guys run a credit score, does it affect, I'm sorry, a credit report, does it affect the score?
There is an inquiry. Yeah, there is a mortgage inquiry, but we tell our clients that it's not treated like a credit card inquiry. It's not treated like a car loan inquiry. It's not a soft pull. It is a card inquiry, but they kind of, the FICO version that we look at on credit scores gives consumers the ability to shop for a mortgage without being penalized on their score. So even if they get multiple mortgage inquiries within a 30-day time period, those are all counted as one inquiry versus, again, if it's a car loan or a credit card, those are counted as individual inquiries and hurt the score a little bit more. So,
got it.
But long story short, if you're serious about buying a house, you're going to have a credit report issued by a lender. And there's really never been a circumstance where that mortgage inquiry has made someone disqualify from borrowing.
That makes sense.
And the other side of the coin, if they already have bad credit, the mortgage inquiry is not going to change anything about that either. So
okay, well, that's good to know.
Yep.
Obviously we're sitting here, we're wearing masks. COVID-19, the epidemic, the pandemic. Has that affected your business in any way, or have you had to make any pivots, or is it mostly like online for you guys?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say the majority of our business has stayed the same because we do have a secure portal that we use to get everyone pre-qualified where they can upload their documents and fill out a loan application. We discuss everything, most things over the phone and via email and text with our clients as well. The one thing that has changed is we do like to meet with a lot of our clients, especially if they are local, and our corporate office, and just again to keep employees safe and our customers safe as well. Currently, we're not meeting and taking any appointments face to face with clients until things have improved, but seems like we're getting pretty close to where they may allow that again soon. But that's been the biggest difference, and everything else is kind of business as usual because we work remotely and can serve our clients over email and telephone calls.
So we're here at your office in downtown Gilbert. Do you have any specific restaurants or anything that you like to go to around here, since we are a community-based website? Any recommendations in this area in case someone's new, maybe just moved here, that you like to do?
Sure. Yeah, every restaurant is down here. It's a great spot to be at. We love Whiskey Row. I love Oregano's across the street. You really can't go wrong down here.
Right. What do you like to do in your free time mostly?
I'm a big golfer, so whenever I have any free time, it's
perfect state for that.
Yes, exactly. So I play a lot of golf.
Cool.
All the courses in the East Valley. It's some really all over the place. So I love to golf and get out there. It's one of those activities that you can safely do now.
True.
Yeah,
that is true.
That's been nice.
I'll have to get some tips on the best golf courses in the East Valley that our viewers can check out.
Definitely.
So I don't want to take too much of your time. I totally appreciate you meeting with me. Before we go, is there just any one piece of advice that you would give a prospective home buyer about the lending, from a lending perspective, we'll say? Yeah,
I would say, it is, to some people, it can be very intimidating because we're talking about your income, you're talking about your savings, and
that's a huge purchase.
And credit. It's a huge purchase. It's a lot of big numbers, and those dollar signs. It's a lot of money, and most times it's the largest financial transaction of someone's life. So it is a big deal. But that said, we do this every day. We help a lot of clients. We're going to take the time to explain everything, make sure our clients are comfortable with the program. They have a good understanding of what their monthly payment's going to be, how much money they're going to need out of pocket. And again, there's dozens of programs and it can be overwhelming, but we're going to listen to that client's needs first and then go in and say, okay, of all these programs that are offered, X, Y, and Z might be your best loan programs. Let's talk about those in more detail and go over the pros and cons.
Right.
Another thing that we do too that really sets us apart from other lenders is that once one of our customers does an online application, we will send everything over to them in a PDF and with a breakdown. We can do it for different purchase prices. We can do it for a couple different loan programs.
Oh, that's helpful.
And especially even before they make an offer, we're going to let them know, hey, on this property, if you offer X amount of dollars, this is what your payment's going to be, this is how much money you'll need out of pocket. So before they even make an offer, they have a really good understanding on that. And again, most companies out there will say, here's your pre-approval letter, go find a house, good luck, and that's the end of it. And that's just not how we do things.
Just not how. You guys need to, you're a little bit more involved, we'll say.
Definitely.
Yeah, so Brian, how can people get a hold of you if they have more questions or need more information, would like to work with you?
Sure, yeah. So our team phone number is 480-818-5856. You can call or text that number. That's the easiest. And my email can be provided as well on our website.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
You bet.
It's been awesome. I've learned a lot, actually. And thank you for tuning in and checking this out with us. Again, I'm Josie Janders, Rush Glen Hill Real Estate. And if you're a local business owner and would like to be featured on the website parkbench.com/superstitionsprings, please reach out to me today. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks.